Okay, so news about up here today. I want to take a look at the Call of Duty games here. So this is one here real quick. So we got Advance. We want to look at a video from a Mr. Dollar JD, really high subs user, but see almost 3 million subs, which is insane. So we're gonna look at this soon. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted for this. But I'll try to like, talk over this as much as I can. Basically, talk about like the Call of Duty games here. So we got and this is we're getting Black Ops 7 here, which is I don't think I'm gonna play it. I really don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it or not. I'm thinking no, just because you got a bunch of cut stuff you can like bring back, but instead they're trying to do nostalgia bait, and I get it's like a last minute thing. I get it, but at the same time you got like all of these cut games you could make, but yeah, you wouldn't choose to be to yeah, you wouldn't choose the nostalgia instead. Like it it's just like really bad for Activision to be trying to do this. But anyway, here we go. So we got some of these. One of the most thing that people were very much looking forward to was Advanced Warfare 2. I believe this was around yeah, so uh it was released in 20 yeah, so there was supposed to be like a whole thing, and I think it was going to be like it was originally going to be in 2023, but however um it didn't. So next they had so then because then they had to such to make Modern Warfare 3, so we didn't get Advanced Warfare 2, which sucks. um so yeah, so you got like a bunch of other stuff up here. I didn't never completed the whole Advanced Warfare. I played a little bit. It's pretty fun with it's pretty fun. But yeah, Advanced Warfare. Yeah, so back to working on Warfare 3. Yeah, so it would be really cool to have Advanced Warfare 2 for 2023. I think it would have been more fitting for 2024, the 10th anniversary, but it's still pretty so would have been nice. It would have been nice to have this Advanced Warfare 2 instead of Modern Warfare 3. And I'm not a developer. I don't know how this thing goes. Honestly, I don't know how this goes. I'm not a developer. I just play the games. Okay. I just think Activision, they just don't know what the hell they're doing. Honestly, they're trying to bait people off with nostalgia, and but at the same time, like if they're gonna make money, they're gonna make money, of course. We all know that, but at the same time, you had like so many options from back then. You had so many options from this, but you just didn't want to. You really didn't want to for some fucking reason. Here we go. So, Advanced Warfare 2 was supposed to be in 2023, but then Modern Warfare 3 got in the way. So, then Roman Wars. This would be actually really interesting. Yeah, Call of Duty game. Yeah. So this would have been really interesting. A Roman Wars. This probably would have been good like the late 2000s, maybe not the 2010s. So it definitely would not work in the 2020s. Definitely would not work now at all. So Julius Caesar here, but it'd be really interesting actually. Like fucking bows, you get fucking bows, spears. That would have been really fucking interesting. Here we go. Here we go. So, so, but so, Vic Vigarius Visions. I'm not sure how to say that. Like I said, what we play from top down. Top down perspective. Interesting. Okay. Top down beat 'em up. Interesting. And it wasn't seriously considered, but didn't even receive a request to be moved. So yeah, it's kind of like it would have been like really interesting, but of course it was 2008. So at the time they were still like working on making Call of Duty what it is now, of course. So, but what it would have been interesting to have. This would have been really interesting. Of course, this definitely wouldn't now fucking work now, obviously, because now we got fucking celebrities in Call of Duty, and at the end of this shit to Roma times would not have worked at all. So it'd be really interesting. And then Future Warfare, it kind of got into Future Warfare kind of got into basically something got reworked into Infinite Warfare. I apologize, can't speak. So if you and go to NX1, 2011 to 2012. Yes, at the time we would have got Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 at a time. The release when so it would have been like So this would have replaced Ghost basically. Okay. So what would have been really interesting? We'll look at Mystalica JD's video here in a little bit. Moon based saw be Sun and Moon. That would have been interesting. That was so it sounds like that could be worked into like one mission in Kados where you're on the moon, you in space. Like we worked into like a Infinite Warfare 2, but what would be really cool to have though. You got Call of Duty Vietnam here. Once you have it, so we got a Black Ops here, which has I think Black Ops is Vietnam and Cold War, I believe. But what would be a really cool thing to have a game basically called Call of Duty Vietnam, based on a Vietnam War. Would be really interesting to have it. Third person shoot, that's interesting. Sledgehammer, interesting, huh? That makes sense. Sledgehammer, they done like World War II like a couple times, so but it would make sense. I think it would make sense for them to do this. 70s, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. Games planned to be in the action adventure game. It would have been a third person only Call of Duty game. 8 months of development. Wow. If a game had to have 15 minutes playable, after which point Activision offers the opportunity. Okay, I see. So, yeah. I mean, they already had like 8 months of development already then. It's 15 minutes game, 15 minutes playable. Now they have that much playability time actually. It's only 15 minutes, but 8 months. But then again, they went to work on they still have to fix Modern Warfare 3, so put on hold. Obviously, of course, film won't get anytime soon. So, say that if the studio was ever asked to make a third-person Call of Duty game again, they would have continued development. I would like to see it. So, I guess what concepts here, not much would just suck. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Ours looks pretty good. Obviously, it looks really good. It's Call of Duty Vietnam here, which would have been really cool. And I think this would have been called Call of Duty, Black Ops, Call of Duty Zombies, something like that. Yeah, Call of Duty Zombies Collection, something like that. I don't see anything on a wiki yet. Like you have this from a mobile game, but this is basically just from mobile. I think this would be like a standalone mobile game. This not a mobile game, standalone zombies game. The Call of Duty Tactics. Those coolest comments say the tactical stances, strategic loadout choices, and objective-based gameplay. Understanding they utilize use like the tactics that significantly improve your performance. Huh. ADS and hip fire, interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at Mystalic JD's video. Dalek, I'm not trying to see your content at all, just saying. Take a look at your video. Take a look. Might have to turn this down just a little bit.
From gladiator battles to Advanced Warfare 2, here are
really
10
interesting
cancelled Call of Duty games, with the first being Advanced Warfare 2. Now, until 2023, the rumors of a sequel to Advanced Warfare had circulated online.
Yeah, so it's I remember hearing about this. It would have been like Advanced Warfare 2. And I remember hearing about this. 2022, because there's like something else like 2025, of course, we're not going to get that because we have Black Ops 7, of course, which does fucking suck. But, you know what, it's fine. So, it's fine.
Advanced Warfare had
So
2 was in the works at one point, and it even had several prototypes and a playable demo created for this sequel to Advanced Warfare. But
that would have been really interesting, actually. A playable demo, I think that would have been like really big for people. I think people would have liked that a lot, actually.
Ultimately, it came down to an executive decision that the studio moved to work onto Call of Duty World War II instead.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Director said in an interview that many developers were also interested in returning to that World War II setting, and they ultimately chose to abandon the sequel to Advanced Warfare. Now, a big management philosophy that the studio behind these games had at the time was that it was crucial that a team shows passion for the work of 3 years or more building the next Call of Duty. And after a fair bit of voting and arm twisting, the team decided to go with World War II over Advanced Warfare.
I do think Advanced Warfare 2 should have replaced Vanguard. It really should have replaced Vanguard. I think if you had Advanced Warfare, like you had Cold War, but I think Advanced Warfare 2, but actually, I think Advanced Warfare 2 would have been like really done really well. Actually, I think it would have done really good. But of course, after World War, at that time of World War II, people just got tired of the jetpacks, and they just wanted boots on the ground stuff. So I think Advanced Warfare 2 probably wouldn't have been that good for people at the time, but I think 2023 would have been a really good time to do it. But of course, we got Modern Warfare 3, the remake.
Basing their decision over if they wanted to do a sequel or did they want to return to the roots of the franchise, and they chose the latter. But the former creative director said this if they were to return to Advanced Warfare 2.
It probably wouldn't have cast Spacey.
Ouch. One of the most interesting counts.
I'm not sure who says that the villain is that a villain of Advanced Warfare. It might be. I haven't never played Advanced Warfare campaign, so I don't. It might be. Yeah, I should know idea. I don't know. So Call of Duty Rumble Wars. Here we go.
Call of Duty games of all time is one set in ancient Rome.
Yeah.
This story takes us all the way back to 2008, who Vicarious Visions, a studio Activision bought in 2005, is currently working on a franchise called Skylanders, but we're secretly also working on a Call of Duty game.
Now, I don't know if this is like actual like gameplay footage. Maybe it is some imagined dig out. I'm not sure. I couldn't fucking tell you. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. But there's a bunch of stuff where people kind of like went over this a little bit here. So I kind of went over this a little bit here, but not much. So go over this a little bit here. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Hopefully not. We'll see.
Game that would have blown our minds, and this game was called Call of Duty Roman Wars, which was going to follow Julius Caesar's 10th Legion, and in this game you would have ridden horses, elephants, and even used catapults. The studio
It would have been really interesting at the time. It would have been really interesting to have it at the time, but of course, like I said, what Call of Duty was really like starting to like figure themselves out. So I think this would have been like a COD 4 too, so.
created a prototype level based on the Battle of Alesia, and it wasn't until 2016 where Games Radar unearthed unseen footage in which the player is in the
so here it is. Here it is. Okay, I guess this
and
is
you would have
it.
been able to switch between first and third.
But is this a Colosseum? Is this the Roman? This looks like the Roman Colosseum actually. I do think Roman Wars is probably more like a more thing for like Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed they've done some Roman Roman themed games. I think would have been fitting for more Assassin's Creed now.
First person view similar to 2005's Condemned Criminal Origins, and the third person was very Gears of War style.
Okay.
An anonymous source told Games Radar that you would play as several different characters from a lowly grunt to Julius Caesar himself.
So that's actually not too bad. So a lot of times in Call of Duty we get like let's play as a one character, maybe a few characters. It depends, like the sides to go to. So it would be really cool to have like a swap to between like different characters. So it would be like really cool for that to happen.
And it would have strived towards accuracy with its battles, keeping close to Caesar's real-life conquests. This demo footage not only
that would have been that would not have went well today. Like that would have keeping it like very accurate, the historically accurate. That would not have worked today at all. That fucking Call of Duty is now. It would not have worked at all.
Impressed Activision, but it was even seen by its CEO Bobby Kotick at the time. But a mixture of studio stubbornness and fears of oversaturating the brand stopped Call of Duty Roman Wars in its tracks. Funnily enough, the game was also pitched to Ubisoft, and you can see company flags within the gameplay footage. And even though this game
Wait, I'm sorry, say that with Ubisoft?
Brand stopped Call of Duty Roman Wars in its tracks. Funnily enough, the game was also pitched to Ubisoft.
Interesting, huh? Interesting, okay. It was pitched to Ubisoft.
And you can see company flags within the gameplay footage. And even though this game didn't see the light of day, in 2013, a Roman action game called Rise released as a launch title for the Xbox One, showing that there was interest within the gaming industry for an ancient Rome title.
So kind of like, it's like, I guess like this was like what it like could have been, what it could have looked like actually. So I suppose that Rise could have like what it could have looked like if it was released in for Call of Duty
game. But one of the most shocking
this part looks fucking awesome. Like so you could tell like it's like heavily like somebody gets like COD Ghost, so I make sure COD Ghost, and I guess like of course Infinite Warfare 2 way on the fucking moon. I do would love to see another space themed Call of Duty again, but I doubt we'll get that ever again, which does fucking sucks. Now we're getting like modern games now, which does fucking suck. So get like modern games. So yeah, that sucks. I don't think we'll get like any like highly futuristic games.
Call of Duty games was only discovered this year. The discovery and leaked gameplay of Call of Duty Future Warfare, codenamed NX1, which was in development in 2011, which was developed solely by the studio Neversoft, who at the time were the developers on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series and Guitar Hero.
Interesting. Have Call of Duty developed by those studios. I can imagine that play would have been also like very different for them to make as well. I can imagine how it's like very different for them.
And after the implosion of Infinity Ward, with several founders and devs splitting to form Respawn Entertainment, Neversoft pivoted from Guitar Hero to make a futuristic Call of Duty game. Thanks to one of the project leads, Brian.
You also like a bit of like the map moon in here too. Like you get like this part here, which is like kind of like based off like map moon, zombies map moon. I feel like it looks like you like some like moon based stuff here too, which looks pretty cool.
Brian Bright, who's also the director for IW Zombies, Extinction, Guitar Hero, and Tony Hawk. We know so much more.
Alex, that makes sense. Yeah, like Infinite Warfare and COD. So that makes sense.
About this game. Context on the campaign mission: this mission was taking place on the moon, and it allowed them to have some experiments with low gravity, but it was really about the team learning how to build Call of Duty on this engine.
That would have like a low gravity. We kind of like got low gravity a little bit with a moon. The zombies map, we kind of got a low gravity with a moon. So would have been really cool to have low gravity in a Call of Duty in the campaign. Would have been really cool. At least I think anyway.
As prior to this, they were making Guitar Hero games on
Yeah.
the Tony Hawk engine. Looking at the time period, this build of the game was a month after the launch of Modern Warfare 3, and a full year before the release of Black Ops 2. With that in mind, this game would have been in place of Call of Duty Ghosts. Brian Bright.
I'm not sure if they probably would have went over that well after Black Ops 2. I don't think they probably would have went over it that well, because you try to like top Black Ops 2. I don't think that would have worked. So I guess it kind of makes sense why this was a cut.
Going on to say that there were 2 to 3 campaign missions completely finished and a bunch of multiplayer work
okay.
done. Now, to anyone that has played Call of Duty Ghosts, you will see some familiarities from this campaign mission to what we see in the Call of Duty Ghosts campaign.
Like I said, you get that one mission where you were up in the space with the little satellite mission, which is actually a really cool mission. Actually, I enjoyed Call of Duty Ghosts campaign. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Firstly, the whole premise of the mission that we're seeing here from Future Warfare is very similar to one of the sections of the first mission from Call of Duty Ghosts,
this one,
where
this
you're
one.
moving through a satellite in space whilst it's being hijacked, and that is a very similar thing that we're seeing happen in this campaign demo. Furthermore, the name of the player's character is Walker, which is the same name as the Ghost protagonist. So it's extremely likely that
Walker?
Seeing happen in this campaign demo. Furthermore, the name of the player's character is Walker, which is the same name as the Ghost.
I thought it was Logan in Ghost. I thought it was Logan. Maybe that's his last name. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that was his is that his Logan Walker? Yeah, so Logan Walker. Okay, so that is his actual name. Okay. Okay, so that's his actual name. Okay.
Protagonist. So it's extremely likely that what we're seeing here was repurposed for Call of Duty Ghosts, as well as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, where the game would have been a balance between being boots.
That would have been fucking interesting as shit, having a fucking nuke on a fucking moon. That would have been fucking really interesting.
On the ground, as well as futuristic movement. And considering this was all in 2011, before there was even an era of futuristic movement Call of Duty games like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, it is amazing to see that this could have been the Call of Duty game we got in 2013 instead of Ghosts. The single player is only half of the story, because we have multiplayer gameplay as well. According to Brian...
Okay, so this is like a multiplayer game. Obviously this isn't like a fully like this was like half like I guess it's like free developed. I was just on the full thing, obviously. So I just wanted you guys to know on that one too.
And Bright, this multiplayer map was called Sandstorm.
Yeah.
Straight away from the gameplay, you can see that this is some sort of hybrid between MW2 and MW3.
Yeah, it looks like it.
J11's at the start as well as the HUD. But what's interesting is the main primary weapon is called a pulse rifle, which is a futuristic energy weapon that we've never seen before.
It would have been like really interesting to have it way back in 2013. It would have been like really interesting. interesting. And it probably would have kicked off the jetpack era too. Like instead of being 2014, 2013, probably would have kicked off the jetpack era. So that would have been interesting.
See it shot a few times, as well as another weapon on the ground called an ECR, but it just looks so alien to see these futuristic weapons in what looks like a modern warfare map from
Yeah,
that
it really
era.
does.
And we know more about this multiplayer from Brian Bright, as he was the multiplayer lead on this game, and one thing that he really liked in multiplayer was the first escort game mode in multiplayer.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that would have been interesting to have. After we get to the state, after we get to like these ones, we'll just like skim right through these actually. So yeah, because I would check this video's like 20 minutes long, so I just checked it. So I'll try to make this a bit shorter here. I'll try to make this a bit shorter. So I'm gonna make this a bit shorter once we get let's go through here.
Mode until Black Ops 3 in 2015. Several years prior, Neversoft were working on a full escort mode, which the team sound like they were very proud of. Another multiplayer map existed called Galleria, which apparently had the best.
Looks like just pro perks now. Yeah, looks like you got pro pro. What about pro perks? You have Recon Pro and that's obviously not really how they detail logos here, obviously, but what about like pro perks, which would have been interesting.
A map existed called Galleria, which apparently had the best escort gameplay, with a UGV dropping in and the elevator in the map to raise it up a level. As for the design of this specific map, at the time the team didn't have much of an art team on multiplayer, so level designers used mainly MW2 assets.
Yeah, you use like the MW2 and this is what you use like the MW2 thing in here. So, but what's really interesting to have, and Activision, they have so many fucking options they can do. They can bring a lot of these back, but they don't want to, which is so fucking stupid. Say that we want to get Black Ops 7 with the original character, the original zombie characters, but then not the original zombie characters. So like a version of them, which is so fucking stupid. Then we'll get a Modern Warfare 4, which is like a sequel to the new Modern Warfare 3, which is fucking like they just have so many goddamn options to go through from like these canceled games. They have so many goddamn options, but yet they're not going to because why would they? Why would they ever get these why would they ever get these worked on? Why? Because why would they? It's like they have the options to do that shit. So they want to do some stuff that's gonna probably not really ruin the franchise, but it's gonna definitely gonna drive people away from it though. It's gonna drive a lot of people away from the franchise. That's my opinion though.
But I want to know if you would have wanted this game to release
Absolutely,
instead of Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
And if this game wasn't exciting enough, we still have 7 more to talk about. So if by the end of this video you've learned something new, let me know if you enjoyed it by clicking that thumbs up for more videos like this. But our next cancelled Call of Duty game takes us to 2011 for a game called Call of Duty Vietnam.
So what was that, like the Vietnam War, which is pretty cool. So you got Black Ops 1, you got I think it's a Vietnam and it's a Cold War, so it's like a mix of both, which is really cool.
Internally, it was called Fog of War, and this was a game under development by Sledgehammer Games.
Yes, we just saw these, which is pretty cool. So
World War II. All that exists is concept artwork for the game, but it was planned to be an action-adventure game that would have been set entirely in third person, with a developer on the project describing it as an Uncharted meets Call of Duty. The game
interesting. I never played any of the Uncharted games, but that would have been really interesting though. Would have been interesting to have Uncharted mixed with Call of Duty.
And 8 months in development, and it even had a 15-minute playable demo.
Yeah.
And at the time, they were really getting into the
story. It had a 15-minute playable demo. Okay. That makes more sense. It had a 15-minute playable demo. Okay, that makes more sense.
With a big moment that they'd love to get into a game someday, but it's not something that they could do in first person. And despite the name Vietnam, it was also set in Cambodia and Laos as well, where they did a lot of research on the war, where they were definitely going for some Dead Space moments. It was going to be a fresh take on war, that's for sure. But ultimately,
that would have been interesting, actually. That would have been interesting.
Ultimately, it got put on hold as Activision offered Sledgehammer the opportunity to help development of the soon-to-release 2011 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Once Sledgehammer began development on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, it was confirmed in 2014 that Call of Duty Vietnam had seized all development. The studio
which does suck. I think a lot of people would really wanted to see a Vietnam-based Call of Duty
At
game.
the time said that if they were ever asked to make a third-person game again, they would continue development on Call of Duty Vietnam.
Which they should, but without Activision and without Activision is now, I doubt they will.
One of the most shocking recent cancelled
Yeah.
Call of Duty games was a standalone Call of
Yeah.
Duty Zombies live service game. Raven Software, the studio behind Call of Duty Warzone and supporting development on many other games, were at one time working on a standalone live version of Call of Duty Zombies.
So
It
yeah,
was
so we'll just
cancelled.
skim right through this here.
Do you
So
think the idea of this game is truly incredible?
so what probably would have been like all those zombies about to like Advanced Warfare, which would be pretty cool. Call of Duty Tactics here. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 remastered, which would have been pretty cool. It was a good game. I'm not sure what this would be actually. Let's take a look.
Know that the original Modern Warfare took Call of Duty by storm, but 5 months before the release of that game, a small team of developers were beginning work on a top-secret third-person Call of Duty spin-off known as Call of Duty Devil's Brigade.
spin-off,
This was going to
interesting.
be set in Italy during World War II and would feature squad-based mechanics, exploration, and a grim story about a team of skillfully trained killing machines. From early in development, it
That would have been interesting. A little, like I said, instead of World War II being in Italy, but that would have been interesting.
had everything going for it. It had Activision's financial support, it had top talent, and most importantly, Infinity Ward were happy for this game to be created.
That's good, but and then it seems like it would have been like a bit weird actually. As you can see, like probably would be like really slow for some people. I can
9
imagine.
months into development in March 2008, the game was cancelled. The low quality gameplay you're seeing is the only existing footage of this game, where the D-pad was used to direct orders to the squad, that being assault, barrage, hold the line, and form up. A few development screenshots have also been discovered for the game, where some
So it's like Carrington, but not really. Nah, I was say it looks like Carrington, but not really. Okay, never mind.
weapons from both Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 4 were present, being the AK-47 and the
Wait. AK-47 in a World War II game. AK-47 was actually developed in 1947. So AK-47 was developed in 1947, so 2 years after the war. So that would have been interesting to put in a World War II game.
Thompson, along with the MP40, which was
Yeah.
created brand new for the game. It was being developed by Studio Underground Development, who at the time had only developed Guitar Hero Van Halen and the then cancelled Call of Duty Devil's Brigade. Now we have to
Huh. That's very interesting. Okay, so we got Combined Forces and we got a real time. So yeah, card game, which would have been interesting. So. Let's go with it for now. But I do apologize I had to skim through the rest of this. I hope I don't get copyrighted here, but let's just take a look at what Activision, the options Activision still has, but they're not going to do it because why the hell would they? I'll put Dalek's video down below in the description. I know I've been forgetting to do that lately, and I do apologize about that. Make sure whatever videos I need to put in descriptions, I will do that. So I do apologize for forgetting about put videos in descriptions. I really do apologize about that. But I will make sure to do it for this video. So anyway, that's about it, and I'll see you guys later.